Hey guys, I've been having a lot of people tagging me to this tweet about Japan halting funding to United Nations panel on women's rights, as well as this tweet from Pirate Nation about that tweet. And I always appreciate tags, so thank you for those tags. But also, just to clarify, this is the exact topic that we covered here on the channel about 2 weeks ago, so there's not really anything new for me to talk about regarding this stuff. There is, however, an update on Japan talking about tourism and immigration, which we'll get to after this quick clarification. But anyways, about the UN stuff, for anyone who may not have seen my prior videos on this topic, I'll give a really quick TLDR. And this goes back a number of months as well, regarding our coverage about how the UN was upset that Japan was not adopting DEI policies, essentially. And more recently, this whole halting of funding thing is related to how this UN committee was upset at Japan for having only male emperors and only men in line for the throne and no women, trying to make the argument that this is discrimination against women. However, Japan sent them a response that many people said was a based response. The response essentially saying, the fact that eligibility for the imperial throne is limited to boys of the male line does not constitute discrimination against women, since eligibility for the imperial throne is not included in basic human rights. Japan then requested that their funding to the UN not be used on that committee. So it looks like they're still funding the UN, but they do request, once again, that that committee receive none of the funding, not be allocated there, in other words. Regardless, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs did go on to claim that while Japan does contribute 20 to 30 million yen annually to the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, that the particular committee/commission that they requested receive no funding has not received an allocation of those funds since at least 2005 anyways. But here's the best part. Back on April 27th, Japan had also canceled a scheduled visit that commission had to go to Japan, basically showing that they don't even want them there. And this seems like a pretty understandable move from Japan, as this commission has routinely caused them problems and displayed immense hypocrisy, such as going after Japan for non-issues like this whole throne thing, while simultaneously ignoring the many human rights violations that occur at other UN countries. Now moving on to the new stuff, in this tweet from Aaron Yumi says, breaking. Ishiba says, quote unquote, "We cannot coexist with foreigners who break the law," regarding Kurdish illegal immigration in Kawaguchi. Adding this tweet that says, full statement by Prime Minister Ishiba, "The most important thing is to follow the rules, but we cannot assume that everyone will do so. As the Japanese government, we absolutely cannot tolerate any harm to the lives or property of Japanese citizens caused by foreigners who fail to abide by the rules. Coexistence is impossible with those who do not follow the law. It is the government's responsibility to prevent such individuals from remaining in Japan." It seems like based Namamoto from Drama Queen would get along great with this guy. You might also find this tweet interesting, which reads, "Due to the increase of incidents involving foreign tourists, especially live streamers and content creators in Sapporo, Hokkaido establishments in the city have begun placing signs like these at their entrance. The sign reading, 'Due to the continuing trouble, we are not accepting customers from overseas.'" Yeah, you can thank the Johnny Somali types for that. A follow-up tweet from Aaron Yumi reading, "I think I made a lot of people here misunderstand. Japan is still very open to tourists, especially in major cities where tourism has traditionally been common. However, it would be a lie if I said there has not been an increase in negative opinion of foreign tourists, especially if you're recording yourself with a selfie stick. You can visit Japan, you won't get kicked out or be refused entry from places as long as you act respectful and have common sense. Things that the Johnny Somali types, of course, greatly lack." Anyways, it's always fun talking about this stuff, and thank you Aaron Yumi for compiling all of this information. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Appreciate ya. Consider liking and or subscribing if you enjoyed the coverage. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next one.